Hey guys, how y'all doing? I'm here to give you guys a recap on a new episode of Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn RE 0096, or you could call it Keto Senshi Gundam UC RE 0096. Now, this episode right here, it seems to be alright, but it seems like it's all being set up for the next episode, which is going to be an all-out battle, to be honest with you. I mean, well, it's going to be a space battle in next episode. Spoiler preview, if anything. So, if by any chance, let's get this started. Okay, at the beginning of the episode, we have to it. It plays a recap where Banaj is defeated and gets kidnapped, apparently, well, after piloting the Unicorn Gundam. And later on, he ends up talking to the leader of the Zeon group, or Zeon Confederation or something, you know? And we have to it that, like, that the guy who piloted the Red Comet whatsoever, well, I shouldn't say that because that Red Comet does have a history behind it, and it is heard throughout previous episodes that is known to be a legendary mech that made a lot of like changes on the battlefield. And apparently we see to it that he talks to the guy who piloted the Red Comet, and he takes off his mask as Banjo was concerned about what he is. And the guy, on the other hand, was the guy who was right next to him, possibly his right hand or his chaperone or his bodyguard. I don't know which is which. I forgot the guy's name. But apparently Banjo tries to talks to the guy and says, "What are you trying to do right now? Because it seems like you guys are trying to go after something." Well, it seems like the guy who piloted the Red Comet, or the pilot of the Red Comet, did explain about his reasons of what he's doing, trying to cut down the chains of the Federation and try to make a war a better place, involving Laplace's box, asking Bananja, "Do you believe there's such a thing that's going to change everything?" And Bananja, on the other hand, is only treated politely and nicely because he's connected with Minerva somehow, and that's Audrey, if anything. And therefore, like, changing the world and so forth is like one of Zeon's goals or something. So in a short term, what they're trying to change, I forgot the details, but Banaja ends up talking back by saying, "Listen, you can't just resort to terrorism. You can't just take a life right away just because you want to change something." And the guy who was next to the pilot of the Red Comet says, "That goes with you too, you stupid idiot. You just cut down and killed one of our men, shot down one of our men. Doesn't that make you to be the same as us? Like, we can't use force such as you, like killing one of our pilots? What the hell do you have any right to say that, you know?" That kind of thing. Even Bananja didn't realize he killed him. I'm thinking in my mind, yo, you've been piloting a freaking Gundam mech and you don't even realize it, kid? You're one that is so want to be into like Audrey or Minerva, whatever her name is, that Zeon princess whatsoever, and you trying to do something about this? You're more complicated than usual. Not to mention his stupidity. Well, if any Gundam fans like to prove me wrong, I will be glad to accept a slap to the right and the left if I have to, okay? And we have to it that Londo Bell, which is one of the Federation, is ready to make an attack on the fortress where Banaja is at, apparently. Banaja ends up eating a meal with a certain family, and he has a little small talk with a kid, you know? And apparently Banaja tells, like, war is never justifiable. All you ever do is see a lot of people die, not to mention about, like, the events, what he mentions. And he says he's not a murderer. I'm thinking in my mind, if you shot down a damn pilot without even realizing it and you killed him, you are a damn murderer. It doesn't change the fact of what you did. It's such as like, even though you're trying to defend something precious or trying to help out or something, you kill someone, you already got blood on your hands, dude. There's no doubt about that. Everyone knows that. We all know that. That's reality. Banaja, wake the up, okay? And we have to it that Mirada, I believe, Marida ends up telling Banaja to come with her for a second, and she ends up showing him something that symbolizes the cross, you know, like Christian or Catholic, however anyone wants to perceive it in its religion. she mentioned something about like a person mentioned something about like the end of the era god, and Zeon is known to be that kind of a light of a hope to bring people up to a certain point, you know? She does agree with Banage saying that war is never justifiable. You're right, but you see here, like there are some things that needs to be done maybe at certain points here and there. In other cases, Murata did make some important points here and there, possibly about war and some other things. Something in her beliefs in ideology, which I believe this episode somehow turns into a good cake for me, because the way how beliefs in ideology works with everyone else, you know, what Banage says, but he doesn't even realize that he's the one that killed someone. He has no right to say, like, you can't just resort to terrorism or force, you know? And Murata ends up reminding to Banage, like, the person you shot down, you can't have any regrets or something. Don't, like, get through your head. But you're already part of like what you just did right now. So there's no changing that, and that is the truth. What Banage did is like is what Zeon's trying to do right now. You know, there's no denying that you can't really like that you are not part of this anymore. And we have to it that Banage ends up getting some kind of signal and note to get ready to escape possibly, and we have to it that Audrey, on the other hand, gets ready to go with Ride, I believe. That's the guy's name, to Earth. And apparently, Mika did catch them both, and she was so close to snitching on them, honestly. But Audrey did talk to her about some importance of what she has to do, etc. But Mika, after much reluctance, Mika decides to let her go and says, do what you have to do on Earth with your responsibilities, but you owe me one, okay? And so forth. And it seems like that's about it right there. And next episode, it's going to be like an all-out space battle as usual, and we're going to see like the Red Comet go into action once again. This episode right here, it was pretty cool. I mean, pretty good. I mean, the way how it was good for me is because the way how like a certain belief in ideology had a certain clash, especially with Banage himself, and he does not even realize it. Like, you can't just use force to take someone's life or something, and the person who's on the Zeon side reminds him, like, you took someone's life already, so what makes you think you could say that, you know? And Murata Cruz, I believe, she's the one that ends up telling Banage something about, like, war is never justifiable, which is something to be true about. I mean, related to our world and life right now, like, war is never justifiable in a certain way, even though, like, we think that it's the right way, even though if it's the wrong way, we don't know. We just don't know. Even I don't know. So she ends up reminding Banage, like, or telling Banage that you're part of this already. There's no denying that, okay? So you have to, like, accept it, and so forth. So episode came out pretty nice to me, and in a certain way. And next episode, it's going to be a little like hectic for a space battle. So if anything else, I'm just going to leave it at that. I'll see you guys in my next video. I'm Alpha Zero. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Bye-bye. Toodaloo.